Hello, I'm Dave Carpenter of Altair Advisors. Joining me to discuss cybersecurity at Altair is our CEO, Rebecca Komischer. We want to provide some insight on the practices and procedures we implement at Altair, as well as some ideas for steps you can take to ensure your safety online. Becca, as CEO and former COO, you've been intimately involved in the details of this work for many years, I know. What are the things you want clients to know that they may not even realize are happening behind the scenes in terms of the lengths we go to protect client data?
Thanks, Dave. So we are on a continual journey, I think, to create a safe environment for our clients' data. And that has looked like most recently implementing ongoing detection with human monitoring. So we have pretty sophisticated firewalls and detection monitoring around all of our data where it is stored. And we get alerts around potential intrusions or attacks on that. We also limit IP addresses where they come from that can access our data, just blocking countries in totality, which sometimes has affected clients when they're traveling to those areas. So we can clear them for periods of time, but in general, some of the more countries where attacks come from, we've blocked altogether. And then we do participate in sort of industry standard penetration testing from time to time to make sure that all of the things we put in place are working. So using a different party, a different firm to do that testing than does our ongoing work to just do a checkup on them is another way that we're working to keep data safe. I would say the final way, and actually the most important way, is continual ongoing training of the people who work at Altair, because we can create a very safe environment inside of our systems, but the humans who work here every day need to be trained to not click on links, to not let bad actors into our system. And so recently, as Dave, as one of our employees, we implemented an ongoing program with training around creating a safe environment and asking all employees to join us in doing that.
That's a good overview. Next, can you walk us through the steps involved in a typical client transaction? In other words, when a client calls with instructions to move assets, what steps and safeguards are implemented to make sure that it happens in a timely but still safe manner?
Right. So a client would talk to in a meeting or email with or communicate with their engagement team, their advisor at Altair, and then that advisor makes the recommendation of where the funds are going to come from the client's portfolio. They communicate internally through a task assignment system to an operations group where the operations group makes sure the money's in the right place to leave the account within the investment portfolio, generates cash if necessary. And when the cash is available, an operations person sets up a transfer to go out. A different operations person approves that transfer. So there has to be at least two people involved, and the person approving it is a senior member of the team. If it's going to a destination that a client has previously approved over the phone, has had a callback on, like their regular checking account or savings account, then we can release that with that two-step, someone entering it, someone approving it process. But if it's going to a destination for a real estate closing or a one-time gift to someone, a charity or a person, then we would implement, as many clients know, we would call them and make sure that the communication of the wire transfer instructions was in order and the client approved that wire to get around the email, bad actors, the information that could be not coming from our client and construed as coming from a client. And usually a phone call matched with instructions can help deflect that.
Okay. On a personal level, so knowing as much as you do, obviously, about cybersecurity and all the time you spent thinking about it, what are some of the data protection measures that you've taken in your own day-to-day life that you'd like to recommend that clients adopt?
Yeah, so maybe I'll first echo back to my comments about how Altair keeps your data safe, and really just thinking before you click on any links. What is in your email? What is coming at you versus going to a site? So is Citibank going to send you a link and ask you to enter your username and password? No, they are not. And if you have a Citibank account for your credit card, go to citibank.com and enter your username and password. Don't use the links that are passed to you. I think it's really easy on a mobile device, especially a phone that's flatter text, not as pretty, to be confused about an email and its source. It's easier for them to mimic a company on a phone. So if you have emails, and I do this, like I'm looking at email on my phone, I might wait till I'm on a computer, a desktop or a laptop, to actually look at those emails, because often if they're not real communication from a company that you do business with, they look way more suspicious on a real computer screen than on your phone. So I think sort of pausing before you click is actually the largest thing you can do to keep yourself safe. The second step, I think, is really doing the work to create a place to keep your passwords safe, an auto generator, making complex passwords, setting up, if the site doesn't make you, but allows you to set up a different multi-factor authentication where it texts you a code after you enter your password or emails you a code. Setting up those makes it much more difficult for someone to take over and behave as you. I think especially with your main banking accounts, your main investment accounts, and your main email, really keeping those passwords very complex and safe, since they're sort of the hub of everything that you do, and getting into your email could allow a lot further action. So those two things, pausing before you click and really thinking about what passwords you use, where, and how you store them. And then the third thing that I do is I'm very careful about what I email and where, and keeping it in some sort of Gmail or Yahoo email in your sent file, whether you delete the email itself in your inbox or not, like going to your sent file and delete something if it has your signature on a PDF, or password protecting the attachment. So it's not just sitting in your email box, so that if someone gets access, they can get access to you, really keeping that really clean.
Okay, thank you, Becca. And thanks to our audience for tuning in. I hope we provided some useful insights about Altair and for personal use online. As a reminder, a blog article of the same topic can be found on the Our Thinking section of our website. You can also find additional articles on cybersecurity there. For more information or questions, we encourage you to reach out to your client service team. Thank you.
Thanks.